Hi, and welcome to today's video. This is Proxy.Doctor here. Today we will be discussing mobile proxies, mobile IPs, in connection to Onimator, the Onimator bot, which lets you automate apps on your Android phone, and much, much more. But today I would like to start off with just explaining to you briefly how mobile proxies work. As you can see on our display here on your left, you can see mobile IP and SIM cards. That's where it starts. So what you have, it's the same as your own phone. It connects to a cell tower. You have a SIM card in your phone, which lets you connect to a nearby cell tower, which basically gives your phone internet, over-the-air internet. When you're connecting your phone with a SIM card to a cell tower, it basically gets a IP address back from that cell tower. That IP address lets any website that you visit with your phone know that it is a cell tower and that it is a mobile IP. There's specific IPs that let social media platforms or apps on your phone, it lets them know that they are connected to a mobile cell tower. This is very important because mobile IPs that are coming from mobile cell towers have extremely high trust score. There's many reasons for that, but mainly because social media platforms especially like to have their apps on your phone, and they pretty much see everything on your phone, what your phone is, if it's moving, if it's on or if it's off, and they can also see that it is connected to a cell tower. And they will check the IP and they will see, yes, it is an actual mobile IP, and it will give you a higher trust score. Now, if your phone would be connected to a data center proxy or residential proxy through Wi-Fi, I'm not saying that that doesn't have a trust score, but it definitely does not have as high of a trust score as a mobile IP would have. That is the main reason why you want to be using mobile proxies, as we offer here at Proxy.Doctor. The way it works is the internet comes into Proxy.Doctor. We connect to the local cell tower, and we get the internet from the cell tower. What you get is, if you buy a proxy from us, you get 5 things. These are just information, facts that you get from us. One is an IP address, which connects you to us. So this is the IP address of Proxy.Doctor, and it'll connect you to Proxy.Doctor. You will also get a port, which is just a number. The port is basically like a door into Proxy.Doctor. What you'll also get is a username and password. The username and password will get you in that door through Proxy.Doctor. Once you're in, then we are connecting with our SIM cards to the cell tower, and will forward that information, that internet, to you, and that's how you get the mobile proxy, the mobile IP, onto your system. Another thing that we offer is an API link. I will later over here explain to you what the API link does, but those are the 5 things that you will get from us once you buy a proxy. Now, going on to the Onimator system. The Onimator system is completely different from us, has nothing to do with proxies, but you will need a proxy to let Onimator do its thing. Now, Onimator, as most of you hopefully know, automates apps on your phone, and much, much more. But for that, what you want is you want Onimator and the Onimator system to connect through a proxy to a cell tower. So it looks natural, and it looks like you're a real user and not a user who is automating anything. So let's have a look at the API link, which is up here. You will get the API link. Now, what the API link does, it's nothing else but a link that links back to Proxy.Doctor and tells Proxy.Doctor to rotate your IP address. So the way mobile IPs work, and we found this out years ago, that if you turn off, and you can try this at home, if you turn off your phone, or if you go into airplane mode for a couple of seconds, and then go back again and connects your phone again to the cell tower, you will get a new IP from that internet service provider that you're using based on your SIM card. So it will give you a brand new IP address. Now, most of these mobile internet service providers have thousands, if not 100,000s of IP addresses that they own, and they can give you and assign these IP addresses to you. So the API link will let us rotate, basically turn on and off, the connection to the cell tower, and it will give you a new IP. This is pretty amazing because if you think about it, just with one click of a button and API link, you can change your IP address. Pretty much unlimited. As mentioned, thousands, and most internet service providers have 100,000s of IP addresses. So that's just explained now. I will let you know later how we're going to use this function. And this is an important function and a very specific function that Proxy.Doctor has and offers to Onimator users or any other user who's willing to pay for it. So let's have a look at what Onimator does on your phone. So you take an Android phone, you connect it to your Windows PC. Normal USB cable, your Android is connected now to the PC, and on the PC you have the Onimator bot working. Once it's connected, you can use different apps to let your phone, your Android phone, not get the IP address of the Wi-Fi that it's connected to. Your Android phone will most likely be connected to Wi-Fi, to your Wi-Fi network at home or in your office, and this Wi-Fi network is connected to most likely a cable, a fiber, internet service provider. They will also have an IP address. Now, they will not have a mobile IP address because they are a residential internet provider or business internet provider. And they will give you an IP address which usually doesn't change. It stays the same most of the times. And any social media platform will see this IP address and will know that you are on a residential or business connection. So they will know you're using your Wi-Fi and that you're connecting from that IP. Now, this is what we don't want, especially if we're using the apps that Onimator advises us to use. Those are mobile apps for mobile phones. You want to be connected through a mobile IP. And there is basically 3 apps that can help you do that. One is called SocksDroid. It is a free app. It's an open source project. As far as we know, it was very nice and very kind of whoever came up with that app and basically gave it to the internet for free. SocksDroid works very well. What it does, it connects for example, a Proxy.Doctor proxy with IP port, username, and password to your Android phone, and your whole phone will run through the proxy, the mobile proxy. The whole phone, every app that you use on it will go through this proxy once you turn SocksDroid on. This is definitely good. It's a free app. It works. But just don't forget that your whole phone is running through the proxy at that time. Yes, your phone is connected to your Wi-Fi, but it basically, and this is the best way to explain it, it basically makes a tunnel through that Wi-Fi network over to Proxy.Doctor and comes out on the other end at Proxy.Doctor. So leaves your app on your phone and goes through the tunnel and pops out at Proxy.Doctor. Yes, it's going through your Wi-Fi, but it is within the tunnel. So the social media app that you're using or apps that you're using on your phone will not see the Wi-Fi internet connections IP. It will only see the Proxy.Doctor mobile proxy that we're supplying to you. It will only see that IP of that. That's the best way to explain it. Important to remember with SocksDroid is that the whole phone is on that one proxy. Another app that you can use, hopefully most of you know this app. It's called NomixCloner. It is quite an expensive app, but it has huge functionality. App Cloner, I will not explain what App Cloner really does in detail, but we all know it clones any app on your phone. So if you have a social media app on your phone, it can clone it multiple times. And you will have the same social media app on your phone multiple times, and you can log in with different accounts into each of those apps, which basically lets you log into any social media platform that has that app, or any dating app will let you log in with different accounts. Now, the good thing about App Cloner is that when you're cloning an app, it has different settings that you can tell it to do before it starts cloning that app. You can basically change the cloned app. One of the things that you can do is you can let it know and give it a proxy. So each clone that you each app that you clone will have its own proxy. Yeah, there's different things you can do while cloning a map, but that's one of the main features that you can do, is that each cloned app will have its own proxy. So in this case, with App Cloner, not the whole phone will be under the same proxy, but only the app that you've cloned. We also recommend NomixCloner, which is still in beta. But it's definitely a very promising app, and it will have the same features as App Cloner, and it will for sure be cheaper than App Cloner, and it is definitely an Onimator project that they can be very proud of. Once NomixCloner has all the features that App Cloner has, we will definitely be switching to NomixCloner. But for the moment, I'd like to show you SocksDroid, how to enter the proxy details, and also in App Cloner how to enter the proxy details while using the Onimator system. And I will also, during that time when I show you that, I will also show you what we're going to do with the API link. So let's have a look at that. So what we have here is a normal Windows 11 PC. It has the Onimator bot already installed on it. I will not go through how to install the Onimator bot, but it's quite simple. So what you do is you open up the Onimator bot, which already hopefully has phones connected to it. What we have here is let's put it down here so we can see it. We have, for example, 15 phones connected here via USB cable onto this PC, and the Onimator bot has them listed here. Let's go through, for example, phone number 12. Quite easy. You go into manage, and then there's an icon with an eye on it, which lets you see the phone, the actual display of the phone on your PC, which is definitely a great thing to have. Otherwise, you'd have the phone in your hand all the time and doing all these settings on multiple phones. So what we'll do then is I'll just show you how you can enter the proxy details into these apps that we mentioned before. What you have on this phone, this is a normal Android 8 phone. So I use the phone that is quite old just to show you that it works even on old phones. So let's open up SocksDroid first. SocksDroid opens up. It's quite a simple way. It doesn't have too big of a menu and no complicated settings. The first setting you want to be looking at is the server IP. So this is exactly where you put the IP in of the proxy provider. You basically enter it here, then press OK. The second thing you'll be putting in is the port. You put the port in, you press OK. Then ignore all these settings. Then you come down to username, password, authentication. Sometimes you have to turn this on. You turn it on. You go into username. You put your username in here, press OK. Then you put your password in here. And you press OK. That's it. You basically entered all the 4 information points that you got from Proxy.Doctor, for example, and you've entered them into SocksDroid. The only thing left after that is to turn it on here. So the minute you press this button and you turn it on, your whole phone, although it's connected to the Wi-Fi, your whole phone will be going through that proxy provider. So for example, Proxy.Doctor, and your whole phone will have a mobile IP address. So you turn it on, you tell it yes, it's all good, you press OK, and then that app is working on your phone. Fairly easy to use. It's a free app. There's a link below. As far as I know, it's not in the actual Android App Store, but you can install it. It's a .apk file that you can get off GitHub, and it'll install that app for you, SocksDroid. Then the second version of adding a proxy to your phone was through AppCloner. So let's have a look at AppCloner. AppCloner, we'll open it up here, and you can see here, I already installed this social media platform app right here from the actual App Store. It is a fresh version. I didn't even open it yet. This is fresh and clean version of this app. We will need this because we will be cloning this app. You go into AppCloner and you will see it here. You click on it and then it'll go into the app cloning menu of that social media platform app. You could press this button right here and it would clone this app for you. But before we clone it, before we press this button, we can make some changes to that app that will be cloned. One of those changes that I usually do is definitely add a badge. So I would put something like this in here. And then the second clone that I make, I would do something like this. And the third clone, I would do something like this. This helps me then differentiate between the apps on my phone because they will have the same icon. They will be called the same. So you want to know which app is which. Then here starts the modding. This is the modification of the actual app. This is where it gets complicated, at least from the cloning part. For us, it should be okay. It makes it fairly easy. On the identity and tracking, we want to turn on new identity. You want this cloned app to be absolutely new, and you don't want any references to your phone or to any other apps, and that's what this does. You can turn this on right here, and get all these things turned on, and also randomize build props and change web view, usually use your agent. Just turn all these on and then you'll be good to go right here. Another thing what you can do is you can go into privacy options. In privacy options, I like to turn on things like incognito keyboard. I turn this on so they can't track my keyboard. You could also turn on spoof location, which is great. If you want to be targeting, for example, only the US or only the UK, and you want the app that you're cloning to think that you're in those countries, you can spoof location. It'll basically have a fake GPS location coming from that app. Amazing. Great stuff. So that's what I would turn on in privacy options. Then display, you can ignore. Media options, you can ignore. Navigation, you can ignore. In storage options, I like to turn on this redirect external storage. Basically what this does is anytime you have multiple apps on your phone, it'll use different folders to have that app in, so they won't be sharing any data. There won't be any leaks between the apps, so I will turn that on as well. Quite easy. You basically enable it and then press OK and it's on. Then we come to the part of network options. Yeah? Network options is where the proxies are entered. Before we enter the proxies, there's a couple of settings we recommend. One is basically a mock Wi-Fi connection. So you don't want the app to know that your Wi-Fi is on. So you can click this on and you can say disconnected. Now the app that's being cloned will not know that you're connected to your actual Wi-Fi. Yeah? Not the actual IP, but it will not think that Wi-Fi is even on. Now, if Wi-Fi isn't on, then the only other version of getting internet would be the mobile connection. Now, your mobile connection isn't on because you're using Wi-Fi, but here you can change that and you can say yes. So having the mobile connection connected tells the app that you're actually connected to a cell tower, which is good because you are using a proxy that has a mobile IP. So it is good to have your mobile connection on. If you wouldn't have it on, it would look strange. For Ethernet connection, this is quite rare on phones, but you can also say disconnected. Then going down further down the list, here comes the part where we enter the proxy in AppCloner. So what you do is you turn this on, and again, it's asking, same as in SocksDroid, it's asking for 4 things. It's asking for an IP address, and let me give you an example. I have one here. We have a test proxy right here. This is how you will get your proxies sent to you. Once you buy a proxy from Proxy.Doctor, you will get a SOCKS proxy, 4G mobile proxy. It says it right here. And you will get your IP, which is that proxy host. As you can see up here, it says proxy host. And we have quite an easy one to remember, which is Proxy.Doctor.io, so pxdr.io. That will connect you to us. Then you will need the right port. This port will let you in, or not let you in yet, but it'll tell you which door to come in. And what you need then is it has username and password. Username and password are here. They're usually the same, at least for us at Proxy.Doctor. And you enter them in here, and then you will have your IP, your port, your username, and your password. And then you can already just press OK. And now the cloned app will be connecting through that mobile proxy. That was it. That's the easy part. Basically, you've done all that. Now you can start cloning the app by pressing here. You would do the same thing for all other clones that you're creating. And that would get your phone up and running. And you've putting your proxies, be it on SocksDroid or be it on AppCloner. And you would have multiple apps here that are all connecting to a mobile IP. And that's pretty much it, what you will do on your phone. Now coming back to the actual Onimator bot, what you can do now is, and this is where the API links come in, because what you can do is you can have multiple accounts, multiple apps cloned on one phone, but every time you change to a different account or you change to a different app, cloned app, Onimator can basically change the IP for you. And the way it does that is if you look into, for example, this phone that we had here, you go into manage and it has actually first page, you can see it here, override global settings. You click on override global settings, you turn the override global settings on. Don't forget, turn them on. Then you go all the way to the bottom, ignore everything else. And down here, it asks for the API link. Now, the API link you get from us. So after you get your IP, your port, username, and password, it'll also give you your rotation API link. This is quite simple. It's right here. You just copy it in here. And now Onimator knows this link. And every time Onimator is changing the account or changing the app for you, automating it, it will trigger this link, which will let us know at Proxy.Doctor to change your IP. This is amazing because that just means that every time you're starting up a new account and you're starting actions on a different account, it will have a different IP. Then just press save up here and it'll be saved. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that is the amazing part of how Onimator works together with Proxy.Doctor or with a mobile IP. Another thing, a bonus tip that I can give you towards the end is this is the Onimator bot for Android phones. But Onimator also has a web version or an online version called insta.onimator, which is for obviously that social media platform, and that you can use the same proxy that you use on your Android phones on that platform to post or to do different things, also automation. But you can use the same IP, port, username, and password, and also the same API link on that platform. In the best case, if you have the same account on both platforms, so you might have an account logged in on your Android phone, and you might log in with the same account from their insta.onimator platform, that obviously it's even recommended that you use the same proxy. But even if you don't, you can use the same proxy also on their web or online version, which definitely will save you money and makes it easier to use. So that's all for today. I hope it was helpful to understand how mobile proxies work and why they're so important. You might also be wondering all the time, why are mobile proxies more expensive? Well, I hope now you know why, because there's actual hardware behind it, actual SIM cards, actual cost, and actual networking hardware to get that mobile IP, that mobile internet to you. It's definitely not cheap, and to keep a system running, and that way you need technical knowledge and also quite the cost to get a project like that up from the ground. Onimator on itself, basically amazing to work with them. They're a great group. NomixCloner, great project. We're looking forward to having you use Proxy.Doctor and our mobile proxies on that. And also for all those who ask or are wondering, yes, we are based in Europe, in a European country. So our mobile proxies are coming from European cell towers. But if you paid attention during the video, in AppCloner, you can spoof the GPS. You can spoof the location. You can be anywhere in the world. And the great thing with mobile IPs is that they can be anywhere in the world. Your home Wi-Fi IP or your business IP cannot be anywhere in the world. They are tied down to the actual location that they're in, but mobile IPs can basically travel, same as your phone and your SIM card travel with you when you're going on holiday or on business trips. It keeps the same IP from the same internet service provider where you're based, where you bought it. So for example, I don't know, T-Mobile in the US, doesn't matter if you come to Europe, you will still have a T-Mobile US IP. And the social media platforms and the internet websites know this, and they will not flag this. They will resort to going back to, for example, checking your GPS. That's how they know where you are, or checking your hashtags, your location tags, or how you're posting, or what you're looking at most. That is how they determine your location, not always by your IP address. TikTok, for example, is another example. They actually look at your SIM card. So wherever your SIM card is based, wherever you bought it, that is the location they use. That's just a bonus step for those of you who didn't know. Alrighty. Thank you so much for paying attention. I hope you did. And if you have any questions, please feel free to visit us at Proxy.Doctor. Yes, our website is that cool. It actually is Proxy.Doctor. We're here for you. If you want to buy mobile proxies, we have some amazing deals for you, especially for Onimator users. And we have a great support team that can help you out if you have any questions. Alrighty. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.